Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Oz Cycling Olympic Team podcast. My name is Matt Poyner, and joining me tonight is Matthew Glaetzer, Rohan Dennis, and Natalya Diehm. Hi, everyone. How are we going?
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Now, we're all around the world. We've got Matt in Brisbane. We've got Rohan in Girona. Natalya, where are you at the moment?
I'm in the Gold Coast.
Oh, my God. Well, you've got the easy spot then.
Well, we just went into lockdown tonight, so I wouldn't say it's easy.
Natalya, you are the one who is going to the Olympics for the first time ever here in a sport that's never been there. Pioneer of the sport. How's that working out for you?
Awesome. Honestly, I'm so happy, and it blows my mind to think that, it'll be going down in history. And every time I say that, I'm like, holy, this is more than what I could have ever dreamed of. So, yeah, it's super exciting.
Super exciting. Matt, you've been there before with Rio, world champion, Commonwealth Games champion. The Olympic medal has eluded you so far. How are we looking for Tokyo?
Yeah, it's the one medal I haven't got in my cabinet, so we're looking good, definitely. It's exciting. We've had a really good prep here in Brisbane, able to take advantage of the faster track. So, yeah, it's good times. I'm in good shape, and looking forward to lighting up Tokyo.
No pressure training on the Anamias velodrome 24/7 going off to an Olympics?
Not at all. I train with her partner's my coach, so it's it's all a part of it. It's funny because I trained with Anna for a solid 6-8 years before that velodrome happened. So she's a hero, but for me, she's a teammate and friend. So now it's good to have that connection. But yeah, it's been great, and she's definitely worthy of the title.
Very much so. Rohan, thanks for joining us all the way over in Girona. We're taking full advantage of you having a rest day. How's a rest day look for Rohan Dennis these days?
Well, my TT bike came in yesterday, so I was trying to fix some stuff on that. Looking after the son. Mel's out riding for the first time in over a year now. So I chucked on dyno trucks or robocar, I don't know what it is, whatever keeps him quiet, and I sit here while the second one is upstairs sleeping, so just chilling out, day off.
So mate, I'll start with you. I'll keep going with you on this one. You came from the track. People can tend to forget this with your cycling career. Teams Pursuit world champion, then you progressed into the individual time trial on the road as an under 23, and then we went on to world champion time trial, Tour de France yellow jersey, multiple stage winner of Grand Tours. How would you describe your career up to this point? Now you're a married man with a family. You know, I don't want to say we're coming to the other side of a career.
Oh, we are.
It's been a good one so far.
It's when you put it all like that, it's been a long time on the bike. I've been in the Australian team or racing internationally since 2007, if you include Junior Worlds, 2009. Late 2008 as elite, so it's been a long time. There's been a lot's happened. There's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and a lot of people actually don't realise that the first individual world title I actually won was 2018. So a lot of time I was either runner up or I was in a team, which is great. A team world title is just as important and just as special as well. So it was a long time for me to individually do something on the world stage and get those rainbow bands.
Very much so. Natalya, I'm going to turn my attention to you. Freestyle BMX, it's in the Olympics. You're going to be one of the first athletes to take the stage, so to speak. How does it feel being a real pioneer of this sport moving forward?
It's exciting, and I'm excited to see where it goes once everyone can see it as an Olympic sport. And more people come into it, and the BMX freestyle scene is just going to rise bigger and bigger, and hopefully have more contests and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait.
So 6th at the World Championships, winner of the Vans Classic and so forth over the last couple of years to really elevate you up and elevate Australian freestyle into this Olympic position. How much have you got left in you from 6th to a gold medal? Can you see the difference? Can you see where you can improve on one or two things, or were the judges just wrong?
No, the judges were right. I was definitely feeling the pressure because if I didn't do well, then I wouldn't have a spot, and then it would have been super hard for me to keep pushing because everything's been out of my pocket and I was working full time just to get over there and stuff. So definitely felt the pressure, and I'm glad I came out on top getting the spot. But 2019 was my first year competing, especially like internationally. So I'm happy with how that went, and I can definitely see the difference between 6th to podium. I'm confident that I can, cover that difference, but we'll see how we go on the day. It's one of those sports where it's either your day or it's not your day, and everyone can make a mistake or fall off. So fingers crossed.
Indeed. Now, Matt, Natalya brings us to a very good point, and you sprinters know this better than most. It's either your day or it's not. You can wake up fast, you can wake up slow. How do you handle that, the pressure wise, in your own self when you go into a major competition?
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a bit of unknown there, but we know how we're going physically most of the time. We've got a very researched and dialed in preparation now. It's your opponents that we race against, that we have interaction with on the track, that makes it difficult. So you have to control another person. It's not. We've got one time trial event, but it's a team event, and it's very dynamic in the team sprint. So the other two events are having competitors on the track that are trying to control you. So it's you trying to win that battle, and you can prepare so much, but you really don't know what they're going to do on the day. So it's who can adapt the best, who can make the best decisions, who can stay in the moment more, and try and treat it like another bike race. It's very different. There's more cameras, a bit less crowd this time, but it's the Olympics and anything can happen.
And a big difference with this Olympic, like Rohan knows what's happening on the road, and Natalya has just come back from a world championship. We haven't done anything on the track for a little while now. It's going to be a real unknown to how everyone else is really going.
I haven't raced internationally for 2 years. I was going to race the World Championships in 2019, but tore my calf in half. It's been a while, and it's just been this rumbling of like wondering who's improving more than the others, like throughout the world, because we're all just heads down getting the work done. And us as a team sprint nation trying to close the gap to the number one team, being the Dutch. And it's a big shootout to when the curtains open and we reveal our speed, who comes out on top, because there's no benchmarks leading up to this event.
Are you happy where you are?
I am.
As far as the form goes?
Yeah, personally I'm going really well. So I've, just last week I rode the fastest time I have of my career. So it's going well. And we've got 4 or 5 weeks to go. So it's only going to get quicker from here, and that's what I need to do. I have to keep improving because everyone else is.
Just talking to you off screen before we started, you definitely have that happy confidence about you at the moment, the way you're talking and the way you're going about your business. So it's nice to know that you've bounced back from what was a turbulent couple of years health wise. Yeah,
definitely. It was a really, really rough 6-month period that I went through. With the thyroid cancer hit, having to deal with that and recovering from that, and then tearing my calf, and then other things going wrong with the body post that injury recovery, and it was tough. And definitely for me personally, the COVID situation with delaying the Olympics 12 months has allowed me to get the body right and everything in a position to really be competitive and fight for that medal.
Very much so. And one of the things, like you got Nathan Hart, you got Matt Richardson, but with the way Richardson's come on in the last couple of years, you've got that person sort of nipping at your heels all of a sudden from within Australia that's going with you. How much does that drag? How much more does that drag out of you and also him moving forward?
Yeah, it's great. Matty Richo's
Yeah.
been a fantastic addition to the Aussie team, and he's got really, really high amounts of talent and can go far. It's just managing the early parts of your career where you think you're invincible, and it's pushed me along for sure. It's motivated me to keep improving. No one likes to get beaten by the young buck, but at the end of the day, it's going to happen at some period. So it's just trying to delay that for as long as possible. So yeah, he's been fantastic. He's come into our team sprint team really well and really solidified us as a really strong threesome to continue on for that event, much stronger than we have previous competitions.
Now, Rohan, I can see you there on screen just having a bit of an arm wrestle, as what dads do in situations. The form's obviously good. How's your preparation going into Tokyo 1 year on from everything from last year? How's it going for the time trial?
Yeah, everything's been really good. Obviously, just at home training. I'm in Girona for a bit of heat adaptation as well. So, Andorra, I'll do the final little bit of prep there, just a bit of altitude and heat, and I'll have to work on some sauna sort of stuff. And obviously, right now, I'm wrestling a little bit. I have to give one of my headphones to the little guy to keep him quiet. But yeah, everything's going really well. Can't really complain. Life's, well, obviously we got postponed a year, and that probably, when I think about it, it's actually probably better for me as well. Not as substantially better as what it was probably for Matt with his cancer. Or I don't know exactly what it was. Thyroid cancer, I think it was. But being on new equipment, I had an extra year to really dial it in and try get things absolutely perfect, and I think we have just before, so just need to make sure the body's ready.
So, talking about injuries and so forth, now, Natalya, I'm not going to let you off the hook, but I'm not going to ask you just yet. But we're watching the opening week of this year's Tour de France, and we've seen some fantastic results there, Rohan, with Alaphilippe and Van der Poel and the Fenix guys and so forth. But the crashes have been horrendous, and it's already taken out our own Caleb Ewan and also Jack Haig, a teammate of yours, moving forward into Tokyo. Do you prefer being in Girona when you see the vision?
I saw the forecast on day one, and it was for rain, and then the next day was also rain, and I didn't realise yesterday was going to be raining as well. And the first week of the tour is always sketchy, but that just adds a whole nother element. Being in Britannia or Brittany area, I was happy watching, and I was happy being on the couch, especially these last 3 days. Initially, I wanted to really, really go. It is what it is. But I think the decision that's been made has been the correct one for my preparation. There was positives and negatives for going and not going, and I think now the negatives of going well outweighed the positives. So obviously it's a shame. We see Caleb went down very hard in the finish yesterday. It was just a slight hit of the wheel, and it just going those speeds. Matt knows it doesn't end well.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, just a little hit of the wheel, and Jack obviously breaking his collarbone. I'm not sure how bad it is. I'm not a doctor either, but I'm sure he'll need to get it plated to give him the best chance to race in Tokyo and be on the start line in the road race. But in the end, it's his decision, and we'll have to wait and see. I don't know who the reserve is, but I'm sure they'll be ready, whoever it is.
Absolutely, and we wish him all the best. If he catches the podcast, we do wish you all the best, mate. Talia, you're 23 years old. You're in the discipline of our sport, where people do tend to get injured
Yeah.
a little bit quicker, even though watching the Tour de France this week, you wouldn't think that. 11 years old, purple handlebars for Christmas, couldn't wait, went and rode the freestyle track in the pouring rain.
I
And
did.
broke your elbow. Since then, you've had a number of different injuries. But at no point you thought, maybe not for me, this one? How many knee
Four on the same
reconstructions are we
knee
talking?
too, on the right knee. So that by that fourth
Damn.
one, that's when I questioned it, and I was like, oh man, like I think I was 21 and I had my fourth knee reconstruction. I was like, I'm not going to be walking when I'm 30. You know, should I just call it here? Which was my decision, and then it got announced to be in the Olympics, and I was like, oh, I could try. But again, like, you know, I'm out of work and I can't save money because of my knee now. And then it wasn't until I got a call from Caroline Buchanan, who tried to do both the disciplines of freestyle and race. And then with her sternum and stuff, she's like, freestyle is not worth the risk for me either. But she called me and said, you know, I think you have a really good shot. You should give it, you know, one last try. And then I was like, all right, buckle up, you know, get padded up, put all my stuff on, and head down to the skate park and started training. And then, then the year of 2019 kicked off, and I realized as a rookie I was making finals, and, you know, which is a massive achievement in that. And then I was like, you know, okay, come Worlds, just be ready and just try your hardest, whether you get the spot or not. You know, you just got to be happy that you tried. So I was lucky enough to get that, but as a kid, you know, injuries didn't matter. You didn't even think about that. So definitely couldn't start the sport now at 23.
No, possibly not. But I got to ask you, freestyle, we tend to put that with surfing and just being your own person and just riding the wave and riding the half pipe and just doing the tricks and doing that standard. How do freestylers get in? How did you find getting into the UCI Oz Cycling Way at national championships and all that sort of stuff? Did you join a club? You know, you're from Gladstone in Queensland, but how was that process for you?
Well, I actually knew a few people who knew Wade Boots and the right people to talk to. Obviously, coming from Gladstone, a small town, like I didn't know much, but yeah, I got in contact with Wade through someone else, and they said, you really need to watch this girl. Like, she can ride a bike for freestyle and she's probably your best shot. But yeah, I didn't know anything about UCI or contests. There was girl riders that I had just no idea about until I started competing. Like, I was just so out of the circle and just in my own world because I was only ever doing it as a hobby. So yeah, it was pretty hard to adjust to and feeling the pressure of a lot of things, but I'm still having fun. So that's the main part.
And when you get an endorsement from Caroline Buchanan and says, I think you should try this, what do you do when you go home at night with that sort of information from somebody like Caroline?
Like, and I had never even met her before either. Like, never met her, never spoken to her, and I get a FaceTime and I was like, whoa, okay, what's going on? But if it wasn't her, like if it was anyone else, I probably would have gone, nah, like not worth it. So, but with her being so inspirational and all the achievements that she's had, I was like, okay, you know, if she believes in me, then I need to be able to believe in myself that I can do this.
Matt, we speak to Rohan about having been in the track career and then moving forward into the road career. Now, I've seen you do Revolve 24-hour race in the last few years as just something to do. Matt Glaetzer going to go towards the road at the end of his sprinting career on the track?
Well, if I get the endorsement from a Rohan Dennis, then hey, it's a Natalya Diehm situation all over.
You can do some crit racing, mate.
Yeah, oh gee, I don't know. I really don't think I would be able to hack the hours on the saddle that I'd have to cop. Yeah.
A crit's only 1 hour, mate. It's fine. It's fine. You do 2-3 hour rides maximum and then you just nail it.
That's true. 1 hour on threshold sounds fun.
Yeah.
No, I generally get asked that question whether I go to road, but yeah, for the actual road, I'd have to lose 20 kilos or something crazy to actually just get up a slight incline.
Wait, how much do you weigh now?
98.
Nah, you could get away with being 85.
85, you reckon?
Yeah, Gunner's
Still
about
a bit to lose.
83, 85 kilo.
He's still got a bit to lose then.
What was that, Nat? What was that?
Just, 13 kilos, easy.
Yeah, easy. And the problem is it's all muscle, so you just have to really not eat. And and you just, nah.
Anything.
Mate, you're not selling it to me, seriously.
Yeah, mate, I'm trying to tell you.
Give me something.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Nah, I enjoy my steaks too much.
Yep.
No. See, what I've enjoyed post career, or wanting to do anyway, is not a road career. I can set that one straight.
Drink.
No, not quite. But at least I won't get in trouble. And now it's actually just hitting the gym with some friends back home and actually touching some upper body weight to try and even out, put some leg muscle back onto my shoulders and chest. That's what I want to do. Have a bit of fun with that. I've not been allowed to touch a dumbbell for 8 years. And when they say that,
Really?
when you're told you're not allowed to do something, it makes you want to do it more. Yeah, I've been struggling with that for 8 years. So that's what I want to do post when I rack the track bike for good. Hit the gym with the lads.
So are we talking CrossFit style gym, or are we talking Matt Glaetzer and his speedos?
Mate, I'm not one to hop on a stage half naked. That's I can assure you of that one. But no, I just want to have some fun and just do my own stuff really, and enjoy not being told what to do for once. And yeah, just have a bit of freedom with it, have a bit of fun with it. And yeah, I mean, if I make the fiery calendar, I won't say no, but we'll see.
So you want to be a fireman?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. 4 days on, 4 days off.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Transition from athlete life, I reckon.
I actually tried out for the aviation firefighters at the airport when I called it quits for riding for the first time. Didn't make it through because my knee let me down, but one day.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
We can work on that. Now, just touching on that one, I like the idea of that for both of us. It's nice to hear a story from you guys and girls about post-career and so forth, and really, directing your intentions very well. You just touched on something I want to bring up there, Matt. Doing something that you want to do, not being told what to do, I think it was. How is that environment over so many years? I know Rohan's going to give me plenty of stories when I ask him the same question, but he's now a professional and he can choose a little bit more. And Natalya comes from freestyle, and I'll guarantee you can't tell her anything really behind the scenes other than advice on training. But how is that lifestyle for a grown man really being told this is what you're going to do every day?
I joke about it, but I do perform well in that structure. I've had a really long working relationship with my coach, Nick Flieger, and he has earned my trust. So when he tells me what to do and the direction that we're going, even though these last couple of years we've had a bit of a collaborative relationship in determining programs and the direction we go, but I almost enjoy the simplicity of it, and it's a lot of research has gone on in the background to determine what we do, but yeah, there's some things that you're like, oh man, I have to lose how many kilos off my bicep, and just little things like that where you're like, man, if I wasn't riding, like I could do this, or in a different situation, you can, make your own decisions, but it's just it's just choices. It's just a period of my life now where, I'm willing to cop the demands and what I need to do to, be the best in the world in what I'm doing right now. So there's a time for all of that, but at the moment I'm willing to submit to the man and take his direction in the day-to-day training and what I need to do, because I know that we've worked together for a long time and he tells me to do things for a reason.
Natalya, the change in your lifestyle between when you were 17, 18, 19 to how you have been for the last couple of years. How much of a change has really happened with becoming this international
It's actually changed so
athlete?
much. Like you said, being freestyle as well. Not like I get to do whatever I want, and no one's ever told me what to do and how to ride my bike and what tricks to do, which like you still don't have that now, but I have the structure of going to the gym so regularly, and seeing like a nutritionist and eating well. Before, I was just doing whatever I wanted and hopefully I would perform at my best. But having the chance to train 5 days a week and not having to work is like so like less pressure and easy, and being able to focus and stay motivated. Like I was working like at a bar. So I was working from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. just so I'd have the time to ride during the day. So not having to do that now just makes my life so much easier. So yeah, I'm so glad.
Touching on a very fine point with women's and men's sport these days, Logan Martin, world champion, in the box seat for Tokyo in a gold medal situation at the moment. He's got all that pressure on him. How does the prize money differ in freestyle at things like the Vans Classic X Games and that? Where are you
so the
in
Vans contests are really good.
These days
they have equal prize money. I think that started in 2019, so that was good for me. For Feast, the World Cup stops, I'm pretty sure there's still a massive difference. So I don't really know the figures, but I'm pretty sure we only get maybe like 1/3 of what the men get. So there's still a massive, massive gap. I think Hannah Roberts won the overall World Cup stops and World Championships, and then Rim won overall and still got more money than what she made for both of those contests. So yeah, it's pretty different. Yeah, and then the girls in X Games as well don't even have an event because I guess we're just not worth it to them.
Now, of course, Rohan, professional cyclist, you've got your own private jet, the Maserati sitting in the driveway and so forth. Is that the,
I've
is
been
that
on
the
a
difference
private jet
these
twice.
days?
Wasn't because I booked it either, and it wasn't from my pocket. So,
that's the way to do it.
Yep. And one of them was a proper one, and one was more like a full team thing. So it's still we're still on EasyJet, Ryanair, Vueling, all the budget airlines. We have got a pretty good life still. There's not really that whole money issue for men's professional cycling. We're lucky when it comes to that, and women's professional cycling is starting to move in that direction, but they still got a way to go as well. So, it's a touchy subject. It's a complicated one as well when it comes to especially road cycling. We don't have a venue, so it comes down to a bit more of a revenue, who brings the revenue in, but it's a lot easier to actually quantify everything when it comes to a venue like freestyle or track or BMX. Everyone's there to watch the men anyway, and they've paid to watch the men. The women are at the same time. I don't see why there is an issue when it comes to prize money difference, or why there is an issue in that sense. When it comes to sponsorship, I guess that's whoever can work out the sponsorship deal for themselves, but I don't see why there should be a difference in prize money, especially when there's a closed venue where everyone's competing the same day, same time. It's not acceptable.
It's not acceptable, and I think you say exactly what we're all thinking. And of course, you've got a great role model in Caroline Buchanan.
Yeah, that's it.
Who,
she's.
You think Nutrigrain, you think Caroline Buchanan. It's that simple.
Yeah.
100% in this country. And then you look at Matt, who is training on the Animeers velodrome 24/7. It would have to be said our greatest cyclist in a lot of ways with Anna, and having her name on that velodrome with the success just in world championships and Olympic Games gold medals alone. Is it not lost? I wouldn't think it's lost on the team training there every day, Matt, of just what can be achieved with everybody who's got this goal in Tokyo.
We've all got that mentality. We've all got that slight screw loose that enables us to push us to that nth degree and absolutely buckle ourselves to get there. So, yeah, I mean, we know it is achievable. Everyone's human. You get to the Olympics and you realise that the people you're watching on TV and might idolise are just like you. So everyone's got their flaws, everyone's got their weaknesses. So it's definitely achievable. And Anna put in the work. I mean, she studied her opponent so much and she got the reward from it. I saw the months and months and months and years of preparation specifically for this one move that she did at the Olympics that caused her to be in the favourable position to then get the victory. And all of a sudden she's, household name, and she's got now a venue named after her. One of the very few, I'm not sure who has major venues like that named after them when they're still alive. So she's pretty lucky that she's here to enjoy it too. So yeah, it's fantastic. She's done incredible achievements throughout her career, and yeah, it's a daily reminder for us that, you know what, we can do it too, because everyone has their struggles, and no one's a perfect athlete. So it's trying to put everything together as best you can.
I've been lucky enough to commentate at the Anamias Velodrome for Nationals and Commonwealth Games. It's a magnificent venue. Commonwealth Games that you were at, Matt, getting into the place was you'd have to sell your firstborn. The security was so tight during Commonwealth Games. But you guys are going to go to Tokyo in a completely different situation to anything you've probably been in the world with COVID and so forth. How are the preparations? And I asked this question of all of you, and you can all discuss it amongst yourselves here now. How do you feel about the preparations of having to go through the protocols, going into the velodrome, training on the road course, going into the freestyle area? How are you all dealing with that
for us,
coming up? What are you going through?
It's just a realisation and being mentally prepared that we're going to be waiting in line, and we're going to be, potentially standing in queue to get clearance into the track, and security's being super strict. Thankfully, they've organised, at least for us, I'm not sure with the road team or whatnot, staying at our hotel that we've secured, but we're getting COVID tests every single day. But thankfully we don't have to go to the sub-site to do that. It's just getting the information from our team and just preparing for it. And we've all had periods of wearing masks everywhere, and so we're used to that. It's for us just expecting and knowing that it's not going to be the perfect preparation while we're there. We're going to be on our feet a bit longer than we would like to. We're going to be, essentially just delayed in certain things that we'd want to be more efficient at. So it's the mental approach of just rolling with it and not making it bigger than it is. And because it's going to be the people who deal with those things the best as well, not just the best athletes, but who can be, as fluid as possible, that goes with the process as smoothly as possible to get the best performance out on the day. So we're getting a lot of information as to what we're needing to go through, and we're mentally preparing for it and getting every sort of mitigating circumstances talked through so we can be the best prepared as possible. I'm not sure what you guys are doing and what your situations are like with venues and clearances and testing scenarios, but that's what we're preparing for.
It's more or less the same.
Yeah.
PCR every day, from what I've been told. So nasal cavity will be wide open.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Make sure they even it up, just not just ram one.
The problem is that we have to do it at road races as well. Not every day, but I had 10 in a month. Was it during the Giro last year? So the PCRs isn't really an issue. It'll just be about, okay, get up, swab me, whatever.
Get out.
it's we've got one road to train on. We have to drive to the road. It's 23k long, I think, one way. It's quite a nice road, but that's it. I'm taking my PlayStation. I've just decided I haven't played it for a long time, but I don't think we're allowed out the hotel, so I've got to find something to do, or I'll just go stir crazy. So
We're not even allowed to eat together.
no.
We're potentially having to eat in our room, isolated. Yeah. So yeah, it's the lonely Olympics.
Basically, you just clock in. You're like, okay, we're leaving at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 11, whatever it is, and don't think. Just it's one of those things where the man tells you what to do, you just do it, and don't think too much. Just switch off and go robot mode and a little bit. Just don't think.
Yeah, we can do that pretty well, Rowan. I know that for a fact. But
yeah, I can do it pretty well.
What about you, Nat? I mean, we can just be like, oh, whatever, cop it.
Well,
go with the flow. Not think.
Like, I guess I can do that too, but this being my first Olympics, like, I don't know any different. So to me, this is going to be like
That's
the
so
normal.
true.
So, if I have to eat in my room by myself, then, that's okay. I guess I just sit on my phone and watch some YouTube and, try and keep my brain going instead of staring at a blank wall.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to ask one of the tough questions. What's the goal for Tokyo?
I want a medal.
What's your individual goal for Tokyo?
I think everyone wants a medal.
Pretty sure we're all in that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
A gold one would be preferable, but it is what it is.
For me personally, like I've been to, this will be my third Olympics, and I've come fourth 3 times. And I'd like to change that, and that's my plan. And I'm doing everything in my power to make that happen. So that's what I'm there to do. But at the same time, the last 18 months, 2 years that I've been through, there's also more than just bike riding. There's all this expectation and pressure on getting medals. But at the end of the day, all I do is ride around in circles. All I do is turn left. So it's obviously a really big achievement, but there's more than bike riding, and just the achievement of getting to the Olympics in itself. All the athletes that make the team, that have improved a lot, that have gone for their sixth time, that might not be stronger medal chances. It's all just a celebration of the sport that we're in, and yeah, just appreciating that we are on that stage and we are part of the 0.002% of the Australian population that can call themselves Olympians. It's a pretty elite club, and yes, we're there to compete. But from my opinion, there's a bit of I think the media love a gold medal, and I think there's more to say about the athletes that are there in general. Yes, we're there to compete. Yes, we're there to win. It doesn't change that. But I'm going to be happy if I execute well, make good decisions, and stay upright.
You're saying
if I do those things, I'm going to be in a position to win anyway. But yeah.
You're saying that all you do is turn left, but if you turn right just a little bit, you might get that medal.
Oh, don't worry. There's the beast comes out when I'm on that bike. Just a little touch to old mate on my right. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Well, I was going to bring up the fact that you said all I do is turn left, but I can guarantee you, mate, having sat in the Animeers Velodrome during Commonwealth Games, you do a lot more to everyone watching the event than just turn left. And there's no pressure with that. There are a number of Australians who just love to see Australians do well, and you're one of them. And so don't take it as pressure when you guys and girls are at the Olympics. Take it as support, because there's thousands of us who are going to tune in just to see you compete, win, lose or draw. So don't ever take it as pressure from the country. You're representing, and we'll all be there to support you. Natalie, sorry, Natalya, please edit that one out. Natalya, a question for these guys. As the rookie in the Olympic team, doing a sport that's never been seen by the majority of people who are going to be watching for the first time, what question do you have for these guys that might assist you going forward?
Keep that pressure down and control your nerves. I know I'm going to be super nervous. Then, I know just breathe and take it all in and, just enjoy it. I know all those things, but I think it's going to be pretty overwhelming.
The way I look at it is, who's there that you haven't competed against already?
I know every single one of the girls, so that's good, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's no different to any other competition.
Yeah, and I, in my head too, I think that this one's going to be the easiest out of them all. Like, we don't have spectators screaming at us, even though that fires you up. But we usually have like 24 girls on the course at a time trying to ride practice, whereas we only have 9 of us, which will make things so much easier and we've got more time to practice. So, yeah, I think I'll be okay, and I'm confident I'll have a good mindset and that I'll do well.
Yeah.
For me, I get nervous, have throughout my whole life, whether it be a state title, national title, world title, or Olympic final. I'm nervous, and it's being okay with that, and it's normal for me. It's just a part of my process. So I have strategies around it as well. So I have like 3 words or something that I'm focusing on that will make me execute what I need to execute in the race.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm thinking about. And it takes my mind from result to task orientated.
Yeah.
And you can distract yourself from the situation, that it might feel like it's bigger than another situation. It can, just focus you on the right things. And I like to take the emotion out of it. When I'm staging for a race, I'm calm, collected. I'm not getting hyped up. I'm just thinking about those execution, task-orientated cue words that mentally put me in the space where I'm there to execute on the track. And if I do that, then it'll go well. Everything's different for each athlete, but it's worked really well for me and most of the sprint team. It's just finding your way to make sure that you're in that position to do what you do.
Yeah.
Because you're good at what you do. You're there because you're really good. So back yourself in. You don't need to change too much. But those little tips to deal with like added sort of perceived pressure do definitely help me.
Yeah. And I think being freestyle, we have, trick after trick. I think if I just focus on what I'm doing next rather than, oh my God, I'm on this big stage and everyone's watching, I think I should be able to control it. And, if I execute it and I'm focusing on what I'm doing next, then I'll be able to stay on the bike and hopefully, score well.
For sure. Yeah. Just that next trick.
Yeah.
That's all you need to think about.
Yeah.
Just that next one. Okay,
I keep telling myself, but as the weeks go on, I'm getting more nervous. I was saying to my mum the other day, I was like, I just wish it was next week so that, all the nerves and all the pressure that I'm feeling is just done. It just builds as the weeks go.
Yeah. And at the same time, so many athletes suffer with like extreme nerves. And I'm trying to, and so do I, but I'm at the point where I'm like, I want to go to a major competition and actually enjoy myself.
Yeah.
It's mainly at the end of the competition where I'm like, oh, it's a relief. Like, we've done it, whatnot. But I want to be in a competition and actually enjoying myself. So that's one of my goals in Tokyo, is to actually enjoy it. Because what we get to do is awesome.
Yeah.
I think we can build it up pretty big in our head. So it's each to their own as to how they perceive that sort of situation. And yes, it's all new. It's going to be a first time. And there's that sort of excitement and, oh, what's happening? What's it going to be like? So that was like me in London for my first Olympics. I was this wide-eyed kid thinking this is amazing.
Yeah.
And distractions and everything. But it's, that's what we have to deal with as athletes.
Yeah, I definitely want to be able to go and enjoy it for sure.
Well, Natalya,
fingers crossed.
I for one think you're going to be better than 6th place moving through to this Olympics. Matt, Rohan, Natalya, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to all three of you here. On behalf of Oz Cycling, on behalf of all of our fans of the sport in Australia, we'd like to wish you all the best. I hope we can all speak post-Olympics in one of these podcasts and find out how the experience was for you all. Win, lose or draw, remember you are now all Olympians, and you're going to be that for the rest of your life, and it's a great calling card to have every time you turn up to a function or to the side of the track and so forth. You, with or without a medal, you all sit above into a very rare cloud in Australian sport. So congratulations to all three of you. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you all.
Thank you.
I wish you all
Rohan,
the best in the next
Natalya,
30 or so days.
see you in Tokyo.
See you there.
Maybe. I might see you there.
Yeah, we'll see. If we make it.
Not if we're allowed to see each other.